This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. We are whipping about the streets of New York. I've got the Monclizzion, Eduardinho Hearn.
At what point do you think you're taking it too far and becoming a little bit cringe?
It's not cringe, mate.
I've got the Monclizzion and I'm with Eduardinho Hearn and we're in the whip. What the you're from Cirencester.
We're whipping about.
Whipping about. You're from Cirencester.
I'm not from there.
Where are you from?
We've had this conversation many a time. I was born in Kingston upon Thames, and you're like, oh yeah, hard man. I'm not saying that, but not from Cirencester.
Oh yeah, hard man.
No, you said that before.
I wouldn't say that, would I? Oh yeah, hard man.
Yeah, you did.
Not
You were like,
12.
oh yeah, hard man. You did actually say that on a video. So, how are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm doing the rounds in New York. We've just done Barstool. Now I'm going to Ariel, and somehow you've made your way in the whip, and you're with me driving around Manhattan, sticking that thing in my face. What do you want?
I'm struggling a little bit, to be honest. I don't know what the camera angle. No, not in general.
Notice you put a bit of timber. Face is looking a bit, from last time I saw you, it's almost like someone got a bicycle pump stuck in your mouth and went.
Oh, fitness guru. Oh, I go to the gym now.
You don't?
Oh, no, you. I'm pretending to be you.
I go to the gym every day. Results fucking speak for themselves, Parsons, to be honest with you.
I wasn't.
You should come to the gym with me tonight. Instead of eating pizzas and pints, you should come to the gym.
Maybe. We'll think about it. I've got my missus. So.
Very nice, you old romantic.
No, we do.
Living a dream.
Serrano Cruise, New York, Hulu Theatre, MSG. Feels.
Shaky.
No, but I'm just.
You nervous?
It's just quite heavy to hold, mate. Actually.
What, you're nervous? Relax, mate. It's fine. Serrano. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Serrano Cruise, great fight at Hulu Theatre. Obviously, last time we were here, April 30th, 20,000 people witnessed one of the greatest fights of all time. Probably one of the great events of all time as well. Amanda Serrano, 7 Division World Champion, never got the opportunity to become undisputed. She does this Saturday. Erica Cruz, our fighter, who holds the other belt. Everyone talking about Taylor Serrano, but it's going to be a real fight and a great main event. Alicia Baumgardner against Mekhaled for the undisputed at 130 pounds as well. Great fight, big card, and looking forward to getting the year underway.
Eddie, Conor Benn, we're hearing more and more that he's going to be reinstated into the WBC rankings. Just firstly, where are we at with this all?
Well, I'm here. A lot of the updates I'm getting are from journalists and the media. Michael Benn, Rob Tebbett, I think, had told us that he was going to get cleared today, or a statement was coming today. I haven't been involved in that process. I speak to Conor a lot. I've not been on the calls with the WBC. I've seen the rumours that he's about to be cleared. We shall see what's forthcoming. Getting a little bit pissed off with the British Boxing Board of Control, because I feel like outside of Conor Benn, the person that's taken all the blame for this is me. And ultimately, we rely on the governing body to give us a decision whether they will sanction the fight. That governing body had the tests results exactly the same time as us. That governing body took 5-6 weeks, whatever it was, to decide that they wouldn't sanction the fight. Ended up costing me millions of pounds, and everybody heaping the blame on me. Why is no one saying to the British Boxing Board of Control, why did you take so long? I'm not saying it was an easy decision, but now they're asking for all the information to make a rule in themselves. They can do that, but we're giving all the information to the people that did the drug testing, and also the people who are responsible for that governing body. And that's the WBC and that's VADA. And ultimately, once they've done that, we'll go to the British Boxing Board of Control. And yeah, I do believe Conor Benn will be cleared.
All right, so let's bring it back to October then. You speak about the British Boxing Board of Control had notice of this about 6 weeks in advance. Do you believe that they've maybe done it to save their face a little bit? The minute the news went public on Fight Week, on that Wednesday, it was already a thing that was going on behind closed doors. The British Boxing Board of Control, seeing that it went public, do you feel like the reason they made the decision not to allow the show to go on?
No, it became public after people. Again, this is something that people are getting confused with. The British Boxing Board of Control decided not to sanction the fight on the Wednesday morning. It was like 8 a.m. Yeah. A couple of hours after that, Riyadh broke the news through the Daily Mail. It was leaked to the press. And then after that, they issued a public statement, okay? All I'm saying is that the reason that this looks so bad is because of the amount of time it took to cancel the fight. Contractually, we have to rely on the British Boxing Board of Control to make that decision. We awaited their decision. They did their research, whatever they needed to do, and then made a decision after we'd spent all our money. And then at that point, it's my fault because the board took so long to make a decision. People say, well, you should have cancelled the fight. Contractually, I can't cancel the fight. So we have to rely on the governing body to make a decision. They made their decision, but they made it after 4 or 5 weeks. And, you know, now Robert Smith wants to come out, oh, we're not happy with this, we're not happy with this. Well, I am very happy either. So when Conor Benn gets cleared, we'll be back to you.
So where are things at with the legal case with the British Boxing Board of Control?
What legal case?
Well, is there not legal proceedings underway with the British board?
Yeah.
Well, with Conor Benn at least.
Yeah, I think
Because he put out a tweet saying that Robert Smith would be receiving a legal.
that's up to him. Obviously, there's a lot of things that happen during this process that cost a lot of people a lot of money. But my concern and my focus is to see Conor Benn back in the ring. So we'll deal with all that kind of stuff. But it's just I don't like the way it's now. You know, no one asked the question. You know, you're the same Parsons. You're in that boat. You've got a microphone in your hand. Why don't you ask these people the questions?
Well, when do I see Robert Smith for an interview?
Well, he's been given interviews. It's your job to go out and get interviews with relevant people. Do your fucking job, Parsons.
Cheers, mate. Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr., Abu Dhabi, maybe?
I'd rather do it in the UK. You know, it's a massive fight. And but let's get through this next week or so and see what happens.
Anthony Joshua, Jermaine Franklin still the front runner for April 1st. Is this all signed, sealed and delivered?
You'll get an announcement on AJ next week. I think Franklin is the likely guy. I think it's a great fight. I mean, listen, on one hand, Anthony Joshua's finished. He's mentally shot to pieces. And Jermaine Franklin's a terrible fight because he'll knock him out inside 3 rounds. And then Jermaine Franklin beat Dillian Whyte. But it's a terrible fight for Anthony Joshua. I mean, these people are absolutely mental. It is a really, really tough fight for him to return to. Back to the Lions Den at the O2. It's going to be a massive event. And I'm looking forward to seeing him back. You know, he's out in Texas at the moment training. I think you're going to see a fantastic Anthony Joshua on April 1st.
I saw something, I think it was TalkSport, Adam Catterall perhaps, and they thought it was a bit of a cash grab from Team AJ. Your response to that?
Mate, Adam Catterall, I like the Fight Disciples, but fuck me, they contradict themselves more than me, and that's difficult. Like, when he was going to fight Fury, people were saying, oh, you can't let him fight Fury. You know, mentally, he broke down after the Usyk fight, he needs to rebuild and come back. Now he comes back in a fight against the same people that just said Franklin beat Dillian Whyte, which I think it's a very, very close fight. That it's a mismatch. Franklin is a very good heavyweight, full of confidence. You know, you've just seen the #1 heavyweight in the world beat Deontay Wilder and beat Dillian Whyte and then fight Derek Chisora. Yet this guy, Anthony Joshua, has just fought potentially the pound for pound #1 twice, lost both fights, gets a new trainer, comes back, fights Jermaine Franklin, and all of a sudden it's a terrible mix. Like, you know, fuck them is all I can say, because I tell you what, I've never been so excited about the return of Anthony Joshua. It's a personal thing for me that this guy gets back to where he should be, which I believe is the World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to the O2. The whole eyes of the world will be on the O2 Arena that night and Anthony Joshua, and you will see the pressure's on. The pressure is on big time in this fight.
I imagine DAZN pay-per-view. Is there talks of a price point just yet?
No, and it might be pay-per-view, it might not be. Watch this space.
Is there a chance that fight could land not on pay-per-view?
Watch this space.
Interesting, Edward. Terri Harper got a message from Steffi Bull yesterday to ask you about the Brackhouse fight. Is this done?
No, it's someone that we're talking to. We've got a number of fights on the table. We have an agreement in place with Tom Loeffler for that fight. I saw talks about a Natasha Jonas fight as well. I think Cecilia Brackhouse believes that she can beat Terri Harper. It's a fight we'd love to make, and we'll see how it plays out in the next couple of days.
Jake Paul, Tommy Fury, signed, sealed and delivered. We did speak a little bit about it, got your thoughts, but now it's done. What did you make of the bravado in the ring, and then Tommy actually not turning up to the head-to-head that he was contracted to do with Jake Paul, and a couple other media obligations? I know Jake's a bit worried that there may be another pull-out. Do you think we finally see this fight?
Yeah, my favourite part was when Tyson Fury went into the room and went up to Jake Paul and went like that, and Jake Paul went, hi, hooray! It was absolutely hilarious. I like the fight, I do. It's like, how would you liken that in terms of ability to a professional boxing level Southern area title, something like that. And you get some great Southern area title 50-50s. This just so happens that it's two guys with big profile. I think it'll be a big fight. I think it's a 50-50. I have no idea what's going to happen. I think Jake Paul's done really well to navigate himself to this position. I think he's taking a risk, which I think is great. I've no idea. I mean, I've watched Tommy a couple of times. I think Jake Paul is worryingly the favourite going into the fight, but I have no idea. I think it's going to be funny.
On fight night, I think all boxing purists will agree Tommy maybe perhaps should win, but do you think there's also a bit of a pressure argument that comes into it? Jake Paul is a pay-per-view star, he's a businessman, he's a bit of a genius. Tommy's not ever been on that level.
I think Tommy's going to struggle with the fuckery of Jake Paul. You know, when you, I mean, also, like, Jake Paul doesn't really understand that you can't goad fighters with personal stuff. I mean, you shouldn't really goad anyone with personal stuff.
Okay, so what did you make of his comments where he said the baby's born just in time to see your dad get knocked?
I think it's fucking outrageous. But, and if it was me, I'd want to chin him. But maybe that's what he wants to do. Maybe that he wants to rattle Tommy Fury to a point where he comes in, makes mistakes. I don't know. But it's pretty... I wouldn't, you know... I know I've been around fighters all my life. You've got to be careful what you say to a fighter because they're not normal individuals and they're preparing themselves to go for battle, if you like, in front of the world. So that is what it is, and that's what Jake Paul does. But when you see Tyson Fury come in the room, and go up to him and pretend to hit him, you saw the reaction of a man that's not from that world, you know?
Eddie, Yard Beterbiev, or Beterbiev Yard, should I say. Anthony Yard really came out there and showed
what would you like?
Amazing chin, heart. I mean, everything that he needed to show in that performance still wasn't enough, but Beterbiev, what a beast.
Yeah, it was a really good fight. I think all credit to Anthony Yard. Beterbiev was brilliant. Like, he just took his time. He was always in control of the fight, in my opinion. I mean, it was a good competitive fight, but it's just the little things that he does. And yeah, sometimes taking a risk in a fight like that, you can come out and your stock can rise, and that's what happened to Anthony Yard. I'd love to see Yard Boatsi. You know, I think it's a tremendous fight. Obviously, Callum Smith is mandatory for Artur Beterbiev. You've got the Canelo, the Bivol situation, etc. And I think it's exciting times for the division.
You speak about Canelo, what's next for him? Is it this John Ryder fight? And I know John wanted it at the Emirates, and there was a bit of talk about Canelo coming over to the UK. I heard a whisper that it could be Abu Dhabi.
No, I don't know. I mean, there's so much bullshit that goes around in boxing.
That's why I said it's a whisper.
No, but how are you going to find out? Like, who is going to tell you where Canelo Alvarez is going to fight next?
Oh, mate,
or was it some geezer was it in a coffee shop or something?
I am not in a position to reveal my sources to you, Edward.
You tit. No, but the reality is it's not definitely John Ryder next, but we would like it to be, and I don't think it'll be in the Middle East. No.
Just for the record, if this lands in Abu Dhabi,
okay, Parsons, it's not happening in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, mate. Cool. Saudi Arabia?
No, it's not in the Middle East. If you listen to what I say.
You just said you don't think it's going to be, and now you're saying it's not. So it's not in the Middle East.
It's not in the Middle East.
Right. Well, that's better than it might not be. Misfits Tag Team Boxing, something that's been launched. Hardcores aren't too happy. I'm a big advocate for the Misfits, right, Edward? But this seems a little bit mad.
Yeah, don't know really. I can't criticise it because it's on DAZN, and it does good numbers. Look, but I think what they've done now, the one thing I'll say of what they've done, is they've just taken it to a level now where you can just say it's just a laugh. Do you know what I mean? So,
a bit WWE.
Yeah, but let's just. I've said it's not boxing. Let's just move away from that. And I think this is just. I don't think they want to be boxing. They're not trying to say this is championship boxing. This is sport. This is just entertainment. I mean, what is it? Las Pina Coladas against something in a tag team. But
by the way, shout out Lee Eaton, who's done an absolutely massive job with that Pineda. He's turned into some foreign-speaking bloke to like.
Foreign-speaking bloke.
Well, okay.
You mean a Mexican fighter?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true,
what?
Yeah, that was bad from me.
Yeah. We're here at.
Oh, we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, right. We'll wrap this up then. Edward, thank you very much for your time, mate.
Thank you.